Okay, hello everyone. Wow, 9:30 and already the room almost full, so very happy about that. My name is Matt Heusch. I'm an entrepreneur in the climate tech space. I'm a professor at IE Business School as well in innovation and entrepreneurship. I'll be moderating this session with these fantastic speakers. So we have, maybe you could introduce yourself first, okay. Andres?
I'm Andres Tintevirma, and I'm responsible of the innovation area in Endesa in the area of power generation. And basically, we are leading the introduction of new technologies and new business models in the generation business.
Cool. Welcome.
Welcome.
Maybe you could introduce yourself, José Luis, what you do, what's your job at this
I'm José Luis Perrego. I lead human resources in a pharmaceutical manufacturing site that GSK has in Spain, in Aranda de Duero, and I lead human resources and innovation.
Okay, thanks a lot. And Daniel, could you introduce yourself briefly, please?
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much. And my pleasure to be here with the speakers today and with this roundtable. My name is José Daniel García Espinel, and I'm the head of innovation growth at Ferrovial. My main goal, in my company is to create new business lines and new opportunities, new lines of revenue based on innovation and technology.
Thanks a lot. So we are talking here about Industry 5.0. So we ask ourselves maybe what is Industry 5.0? I remember last South Summit, there was lots of talks about Industry 4.0. So according to Harvard, Industry 4.0 is integration of digital information from many different sources and locations to drive manufacturing, maintenance, inventory tracking, and even marketing. So it involves the use of technology like the Internet of Things, cloud computing, and analytics to create smart factories. But what's Industry 5.0? It could be defined and focuses on the introducing humans back at the center. So the topic of South Summit this year. Into manufacturing, working hand in hand with robots and smart machines. It aims to strike a balance between technological advancements such as AI and human expertise, leveraging the strength of both for sustainable and ethical industrialization, with less waste and more eco-friendly practices. So we're going to talk a lot about AI, sustainability, human centricity, challenges of the Industry 5.0, and maybe you could share precise examples of what you are doing in these topics. Okay, so we're going to start first with the AI integration. So how are your companies integrating AI and technologies in your processes and factories? Can you give specific examples, and how do you see the future of AI implied in your industry? So maybe, José Luis, you could start?
Yeah. Well, in a manufacturing site, we have been implementing different technologies for a long period of time so far. Indeed, we have been implementing, for instance, blockchain to manage data integrity management. We have implemented additive printing in order to improve our production lines, collaborative robots at the end of our packaging lines, machine learning in our manufacturing areas. But now we are really interested in artificial intelligence. And indeed, we are working in a pilot that we started last summer regarding artificial intelligence to protect our employees.
Okay.
So the idea is that, as you can imagine, a manufacturing environment is an environment where risks can appear. And right now we are managing them with tasks done by human beings, following procedures and having a good mindset and behaviors. But we thought, why don't we implement it an artificial intelligence that is going to take care of us all day, everywhere. So this is what we decided to do. How it works? Well, it's simple, but at the same time, it's very powerful. The idea is that we have cameras in certain points that are looking for specific risks. These risks has been identified by the company in a global program that is called the 12 Rules That Save Lives, that are these specific situations in which you could be in danger. For instance, if you are, there is a specific process that is called LOTO, lockout, tagout. That means that when you manipulate a machine, you need to do it very carefully because maybe this machine remains energy like kinetic, heat, or any other. So you need to follow a procedure in order to manipulate this machine, otherwise you could have an accident. when you work alone, when you work in a confined space, or even when you are going upstairs without using the handrail or using a mobile. This is a risk, a potential risk. So we have put in place this artificial intelligence that is not looking for people. It's just, to give you an idea, it's like generate a cloud of points, a point for the head, shoulders, feet, hands, hips, whatever, no? And looking or exploring the movement of these points, identify, okay, this is a human being. And I think that he is not wearing a helmet in a place that he should have to wear a helmet, no? Okay. So in this moment, the person is going to receive a message, a polite message, because very important to us is that we don't want to punish our employees. We want to change their mindset to behavior and to be sure that they are safe. So he's going to receive a message that says, please, you wear your helmet because you are in an area where you need it. At the same time, he's going to see the same message in a screen. And finally, the environment is going to change. Like we have here, the environment is going to be normal, but if you are in risk, the environment will have red lights across the side, and it's going to change the environment. So you are going to realize that something is not working as expected. No? Okay. So this is the idea, and we are including more and more these rules that save lives in our artificial intelligence. And the coolest thing is that when you solve one of these problems, you can escalate in many other places worldwide, because the artificial intelligence operates like a network and is able to apply immediately in other places. So this is really powerful and really cool. We expect to deliver to the company in this summer, this project.
Okay, congrats. So Andres, maybe application of AI in your case?
Yes. Let's say that in the power generation sector, let's say artificial intelligence has been applied from a long time ago, specifically on the area of predictive maintenance. We have very expensive assets. We have assets that are operating 20 hours per day, every day of the year. So let's say we thought in the past that the use of this kind of technology, machine learning specifically, in order to detect problems in these machines in advance, mainly in order, let's say, to avoid critical failures in these machines. No? And this is obviously a quite powerful tool for doing this, and it's giving a lot of value for us because, well, as I told you before, these are machines quite expensive. It's important that we keep them in operation during a lot of hours during all the year, and for us it's a key aspect. It's true that we are advancing a lot of now, introducing other business cases in our business, in the power generation sector, as for example, and similar cases that has been commented in the sense of analyzing with cameras, images, a lot of events or problems that we can have in our plants. In our plants, we have less people, specifically because the technology has changes and we don't have the need to have a lot of people there. So this analysis of the cameras, it's quite useful for us, in order to advance, etc., etc. And just as an example of a project that we are developing currently, and I think that is also very linked to the sustainability, is the use of artificial intelligence in order to detect and protect birds and bats in the nearby of the wind farms. No? Okay. This is a way just to identify a potential bird that needs to be protected. We can stop the machine, avoid any kind of collision, just through this kind of technology. No? Okay. So it's a way just to link technology and sustainability in a project. No?
Cool. So we are protecting humans, protecting animals. In your case.
In my case, I think it's of software. I think it's a great question because we can be talking, the AI more than 1 hour, 2 hours, a lot of time. But I would like also to split in talking about the technology in the traditional AI that is focused on computer vision, deep learning algorithms. That call it traditional is a little bit, but and generative AI. What I mean is, for example, if we talk about traditional AI at Ferrovial, we have been working in one project that is called IVIA. As you know, at Ferrovial, we build roads, we build highways, but also we operate that kind of infrastructure. So what I mean is, for us, safety of the people that is driving in our highways is critical. That's why we use AI in our highways in order to prevent accidents, for example, to detect if there is a car that is driving opposite direction, in the case in the highway, and also to increase, just to summarize, the safety of our infrastructure that we not only build, but we also operate. That is the first example, of a via, traditional AI, computer vision, and deep learning. And talking about generative AI, that we are, in the media you can see a lot of articles, describing how generative AI is going to change a lot of things. I think that we were the first company of infrastructures last year that launched a product that was focused to help or to support, in this case, employees using generative AI. We call that product Maya, my artificial intelligence assistant. And it was an assistant that, for example, if you need to write a letter, you need to prepare some emails, or to read a report, it helps you to summarize, to write, to correct, and also to improve your grammar. For example, if you're talking in English, perhaps your English is not from Oxford, and so you need to improve a little bit. So in that case, you can use Maya to correct your English and to improve your English. So that's one example, very, very useful. And talking about the future, because we not only, I think that it's also very interesting, I think that something that is going to change a lot of things is what is called multimodality in generative AI. And not only talking about text, like large language models, but also including images, also including audio, and different kind of sources of data. So that's where we are working quite hard, also at Ferrovial right now, with multimodality, and also what is going to be the future, that is small language models, that you could have, in your mobile phone directly, a language model, and you can interact, directly, on local and not in the cloud. So that's what we are doing at Ferrovial.
Okay, very interesting. So AI and sustainability, right? Is the infrastructure needed for running AI algorithms smart and sustainable, right? Like, what projects are you developing that could be considered smart and sustainable in your case?
Well, in my case, I think that it's also a very good question. And for example, running AI takes a lot of resources, as you know. For example, always when you are talking about AI, below the scenes or behind the scenes, there is a data center that consumes energy and other kind of resources. And one of the things that we are quite proud at Ferrovial is that we are working right now at the innovation side also to generate power, in this case, green power. In this case, when we're talking about sustainable and we are talking about data centers, we have some initiatives that are focused to use renewable energy, in this case, to feed with green power, in this case, data centers. But it's something that is not only, for data centers industry, but also for other kind of construction. For example, we have just finished a few months ago one flagship project of Ferrovial. We built a building for the SEMCAT of Salud in Catalonia that it was fully industrialized and fully constructed using modular construction. What does it mean? As you can think, traditional construction, it takes a lot of resources and it takes a lot of waste and a lot of energy and that kind of thing. So if we use industrialized construction, the first thing that is important is that we can assure, in this case, to our customer, the time to market. Yeah. Sometimes, when you have an infrastructure, you need to build it, the time to market is critical. So that is something that if you are using industrialized construction, you can assure when the site work is going to finish, the project is going to finish, and you are going to give, the infrastructure to your customer. And also, another thing that is quite relevant and linked to sustainability is the reduce of waste. It's not the same if you are creating or you are building something in situ directly when you are going to build the building or the infrastructure that you do it in a factory. Because if you are doing it in a factory, you use some specific processes that reduce the amount of waste that you put into the environment. So I think that for us, sustainability at Ferrovial is critical, and that's why we are putting all your efforts at the innovation side to be as sustainable as possible.
Cool. Andres at Enel or Endesa, like sustainability.
Let's say, well, the first question was related of this consumption of or energy consumption from the AI, and I think as a power generation company, for us, it's also an opportunity. And in fact, it's an opportunity thinking in how it's organized now, the power generation. We are moving clearly to a renewable generation, which has a lot of problems in terms of managing all the energy that is produced. You can see, for example, these days that we are plenty of solar energy here in Spain. We are generating a lot of energy during these periods. From time to time, we have problems to introduce all that energy in the network. And clearly, let's say, as a customer, let's say data centers are really, let's say, an opportunity in order, let's say, also to manage this energy that is not stable, that is not easy to manage, and for us, it's an opportunity. We are analyzing now possibilities on how to integrate these kind of data centers in the performance of also our renewable energies in order to establish some kind of synergies that could, let's say, get value to both business, no? And trying to equilibrate and make some kind of balance also between this consumption and this generation. No? For us, as I told you before, I think it's an interesting opportunity, and we need just to take advantage of these kind of things. And by sure, this is the most sustainable thing that we can do, in the sense that, well, let's try to accommodate the green energy also to the consumption. No? And I think it's a quite interesting topic, and we are working very hard on that because I think it's an opportunity and something that we need just to do as a tool to manage and handle these also problems that we have from the other side.
Yeah, challenges are going to be huge
Yes.
in this case, right? ChatGPT was down actually yesterday, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
So people were quite frustrated, so it's going to increase all the time. Jose Luis, maybe talking about sustainability at GSK.
Yes,
some
I think
examples.
that we have both examples regarding the product. As you can imagine, there is a variable that we call waste.
Yeah.
That is all that you lose in the production process, and the use of machine learning and artificial intelligence in order to reduce this is key for us, because it's where we are demonstrating that we have a continuous improvement mindset. So we are already applying with our most innovative products of the company, and with a great success. And regarding the sustainability, environmental, we are very proud to say that it's a factory, but last year we put in place solar panels with a space of 30,000 square meters, and we have reduced around 40%, let's say, our consumption of energy. In combination with artificial intelligence, what we would like to have is intelligent buildings in order to use as much as possible the power, the green power that we already have with this infrastructure.
Okay, and currently regarding Industry 5.0, what are your main challenges and how do you solve them?
I think that the main challenge is that we work in a very regulated environment, because we are manufacturing medicines. So therefore, it's very difficult sometimes to be able to manage this internal regulation. Okay. And at the same time, it's very difficult to identify good partners outside to work with. I think that it's very important that this innovation project has to be, in my opinion, the collaboration between a big company like ours and startups that they have the knowledge, they have the vision, okay, in order to define the future for everybody, no? For the project, for the startup, and for our company.
So you're looking for startups now, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the audience, if there is any startup interested, Jose Luis would be happy to talk to you for sure. Andres, what do you think are your main challenges and how
our main challenge, probably I'm sure it's how we are transforming completely our power generation sector. We are moving to renewable energy, and it's obviously an energy that it's more sustainable. It's the solution, obviously, and we believe that is the solution. But it's true that it's also more challenging, all the integration of these hundreds of plants that we are constructing, and based on ourselves that we cannot control. So we cannot control the sun, we cannot control rain, we cannot control the wind. And here the technology plays a key role, in the sense that we need the technology in order to accommodate all this difficult scenario, in order to give us a product that at the end is the electricity. That is something that all the people think it's easy just to have your light, every day without any kind of problems, etc. But it's a really complex process. With this new scenario, it's a lot more complex, in the sense that it's more difficult to control that. And by sure, the technologies must play a key role in order to support us in this sense. we were speaking about the AI as an important tool to support this kind of challenge. And we are using, for example, as an example, in order to support our control room, the operators that are controlling all the hundreds of plants that we have in the country, in order, let's say, to give support to them and have answers faster and without problems and without errors, and to solve this. No? This is a clear example of how a technology can support the complexity that we have in this scenario. The same if we move purely to something more technological as energy storage, batteries, etc. We are introducing new technologies and working with startups and technology providers in order to test new solutions that could support us in this field. No? We have opening some months ago an important asset here in the Balearic Island that is one of the biggest vanadium battery here in Europe and in the world. And it's an asset that can play a key role in order, let's say, to integrate this energy and to distribute around the day. No? So for us, it's really quite important to integrate this kind of new technologies in our sector because we need solutions at the moment, and it's not an easy problem.
So looking for startups as well.
Yes, it is. Quite sure.
Okay, cool. Daniel, what are the main challenges in your case?
Well, in my case, I think that as Ferrovial constructs, builds, and operates also infrastructure, I think that right now one of the main challenges is sustainability. Okay. And that's why right now in our business and from the innovation area, the innovation division that I'm working in, I think that our main challenge is to support all these kind of initiatives. No? So, for example, and we know that also construction industry it has really a challenge, in that field. Just to give you some examples, of how we face this challenge and we try to do as much as possible, in this case. I remember, for example, perhaps not so long time again, when I was starting, working, I was starting at the construction site, I was a sidewalk manager. And as you know, when we need to build, for example, a highway or a road in the middle of nowhere, because there is nothing around it, one of the main needs that we have is power. And we don't have power. And what is the kind of technology that we used 20 years ago? 20 years ago, we used diesel power generators in order to feed with energy and to start doing all the work, that in the road. So that's why one of the main projects that we are quite proud about it, and it's quite linked to sustainability, is one project that we call Icon Green. Icon Green is a specific product that we developed at the innovation side, working with the different business lines. That it was like a container. That was trying to feed with green power using PV panels in this case, and also when you can charge directly your electric vehicle, and it's an alternative to the consumption of diesel power, in this case in the sidewalks. So it was a container that we generate, and then we start working with it, developing with it, and putting it into different sidewalks, and we realized that it was really demanded by the sidewalk managers, in this case. So we started with one container, 2 containers, 3 containers, and now we have more than 20 containers distributed in all the different projects that Ferrovial has right now here in Spain, managed by the machinery park, at the company. So for us, challenge sustainability, and from the innovation side, always helping and supporting, in this case, the business lines in order to be more sustainable.
Cool. So maybe we have time for a couple of questions from the audience. Is anyone wanting to ask these 3 gentlemen a question? Anyone? Come on, it's 9 in the morning. I'll carry on then. Maybe you could give some initiatives that you are the proudest of in terms of sustainability or AI or collaboration with humans, or bringing back humans to a center, right, of operations. Maybe you could give us some examples or some more examples.
Okay. In our case, let's say when we start the construction of a new renewable plant, sustainability is one of the key pieces that we consider from the beginning to the end of the lifetime of the plant. No? Just in the construction phase, we start what we call a construction sustainability site, that at the end brings a lot of measure in order to be more sustainable during the construction. We are using renewable energy during the construction. We are using the water from rain in order to be introduced again for the different purposes that we have during the construction. We are, let's say, putting a lot of measure that limit the impact during this construction phase. But after the construction, we move to, let's say, the operation phase. During the operation phase, we follow a similar approach, trying to involve, let's say, the communities around the plants, and also bringing initiatives, innovative initiatives, such as, for example, one that I especially proud of that we have led, that is the agrivoltaic projects. That it's, let's say, the combination of, let's say, the use of the soil in agriculture or for agriculture purposes with the production of electricity. In combination, both things, no? In order to limit the impact and giving value also to the communities, the local communities that we have there. No? We have several projects around the world, and specifically here, we are very active here in Spain in that aspect, and we have received some awards from the photovoltaic world, no? Recognizing this initiative that I think is quite interesting because it's giving value, let's say, for the promoter. It's also giving value, let's say, for the communities that are already implemented. No? And during all the lifetime of the plan, we follow this kind of synergy, or we try to follow this kind of synergies, because we understand that we must be quite aligned and give also some value to our communities, because or the communities where we are, because it's how the projects can grow and can give a value, no? Not only to us, but also to the society.
José Luis.
Very quickly, and conscious of time, in 1 minute, 2 examples, one internal, one external. Internal, the evolution of our current project, protecting employees. Right now, the artificial intelligence is able to identify the risks that we want it to identify. Our expectation is that in the future, it's able to identify risks by itself. Okay. Environment change, and right now we don't have here a risk, but maybe tomorrow, yes. And we would like that this artificial intelligence is able to detect the future. Secondly, externally, I think that as a healthcare company, we have a big and important things to do regarding the quality experience of our patients. I live in Aranda de Duero because the factory is in Aranda de Duero. And it's a
great place.
Great place. It's an important industrial area, but there are many other villages around Castilla and León with very few inhabitants. That is what we call the empty space. Sorry, the empty Spain. And we think that with artificial intelligence and a good mobile, these people can have a better healthcare experience as patients. So this is the future in which we are working.
Nice. And Daniel?
Well, in my case, I think that one of the main things that I think we can be proud, at Ferrovial, if what we call, the prospective team that we have, that we call foresight, the foresight analysis that we are doing. In my case, I'm the head of innovation growth, so my main goal in this case is to create new business lines. So we need to have close eyes into what is going to happen in the future. And to give you some examples, of Ferrovial, how this work that has been done by the prospective team and the foresight team. Several years ago, we started analyzing one business that it was linked to flying cars. Flying cars. That's something that is visible, but that enables us to create some analysis, doing some different scenario planning, and then realize that there was an opportunity in this case for Ferrovial, building the infrastructure that is called vertiports that is going to enable the transportation, with drones of human people. So that is why we create a business line. That is Ferrovial vertiports, and right now, it's operating and is working in different projects in the States. So it's one example, how we have to have a close vision in what's going to happen and also in the future.
Okay. Well, we are reaching the end of the conversations. Thanks a lot. We've seen how AI can protect, right, employees in fabrics, protect animals, how sustainability is at core now in every industry, right? So thanks a lot for coming, and hope to see you soon. Okay? Thank you.